Good evening. You're at the Farmer's Kitchen. I'm Tina Laster, and tonight we're going to be making an old-fashioned tea cookie. This cookie has been passed down in my family from generation to generation, and I'm sure if you live in the South, this tea cake is probably part of your heritage as well. My great-grandmother used to fix this tea cookie, and back then, she was married in 1913. Her name is Matilda Weaver, and she was married to Henry Weaver, and they lived in Green Hill. And anyway, she used to fix this tea cake, and it was back then, this was like, you know, a treat to get a tea cookie because, you know, they lived through the Depression, and you know, it was just a treat. And when I was a little girl, my grandmother and my mother used to make these tea cookies all the time, so it became like a weekly thing at my grandmother's and at our house. We were my grandmother would make them really big, just like she made her big biscuits, and my mother, you know, she always cut them out and they were just perfect, you know, and she sprinkled a little sugar on top, or sometimes they would put the sprinkles on top, you know. But this recipe is very simple. Now I will be making some alterations to this recipe. The main recipe was made with just regular flour and some baking soda. But I'm going to use the self-rising flour, and I'm going to use butter instead of lard. And if they're a little thick, we can add milk. Some people add buttermilk to them. You know, I'm probably going to add sweet milk if we need a little bit. But with all this butter in it, you really don't have to probably add much, if any. Okay, I'm going to be making two different kinds tonight. My kids love mint, the chocolate chip mint ice cream, and so I thought I might try to make some of the chocolate chip mint cookies. Now this recipe is a staple for any base, for any cookie. All it is your sugar, your butter, your eggs, vanilla, salt, and your flour. And like I said, you can add milk if needed. But you can add chocolate chips to this, and you can make a chocolate chip cookie. Depends on what extract you add. You can, like I'm doing the mint with a chocolate chip. You could do lemon cookies. You could do strawberry, put your strawberry jam in there. You could do walnut flavoring, which I love. It has that kind of a cherry taste to it, and you can add cherries. There's just so many things you can do with this basic tea cake recipe. It's just a good old recipe, and I'm glad that, you know, it's been passed down to me. So we're going to start off with 1.5 cups of sugar. So let's see. Let's get a 1.5 cups of sugar. Just a little bit more. And then we're going to add in a cup of butter and 2 eggs. So let's just go ahead and get our eggs added. And we can kind of beat those in a little bit. Okay, and the butter. You can let it be room temperature butter. When I fix it with lard, I usually just put my lard in there right out of the refrigerator because it kind of melts when you knead that in. These will be cut out just like they are with regular biscuits. And I think probably that's where, you know, it's carried over from, you know, England, because they still call these cookies and things, pastries like this, these cookies, they call them biscuits because it has the sugar in it and the butter and stuff. Okay, we've got our sugar and our eggs incorporated in there. Getting our wet mix all good. And say, even if your butter came out of the refrigerator, mine's a little cool, it's melting up just fine. Okay, got that whipped, and let's put a little bit of salt in there. We need about 1/4 of a teaspoon or 1/2 a teaspoon. We could use, let's go with 1/2. Make sure we got enough in there. And then let's get our flavoring and go ahead and add that in our wet mixture. And our vanilla, we're going to use 1 whole teaspoon of vanilla. Just use this same spoon. Okay. Mix that in. And you can add any type of food coloring. If you're gonna, this would be great for Easter. You could make these in all different colors, you know, and put your sprinkles on. You could add icing and put your sprinkles on. Get you some cookie cutters shaped like eggs. And there's a lot you can do with this. And I like that. I like a recipe that you can combine things and add to it and just change it up. Okay, we got that done. So let me go back. We've got our sugar in, our butter, our eggs, our vanilla, our salt. And now we need our 3 cups of flour. And like I said, I'm substituting the self-rising flour for the regular all-purpose flour, and I'm not using any baking soda at all. We're gonna go ahead. We're not gonna sift it or anything. You know, I know that makes it fluffier, but really back then they sifted it to get the bugs out. You know, back in the day. Okay, let's just add this on in and see how much milk we're gonna need. I'm just slinging flour everywhere. Now I could have put this in my little mixer over there. Okay, let's add another one. Get this one ready. Well, got a little flour, huh? Okay. Okay, that's looking good. And then we're going to add our last cup in. Spread that out a little bit. Clean up a little bit. Okay. Ooh, I'm slinging it out. But I do like this size bowl. With all that butter in there, you don't have to add milk. And I think the old recipe, they used to put a little milk in it. And I actually think it was buttermilk because it's a little thicker. Okay. Now, there's our cookie dough. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bake these out and make these just our regular tea cakes so you can see how they turn out. And we're gonna add some flour down here on the paper. Well, I'm about to get the sugar. Okay, let's get this on here. Put a little bit down, probably more than a little bit, because that is just a little runny, and we do not want our cookies runny. Now you could drop these, you know, get your little, make these drop cookies. I'm slinging it everywhere. Okay, now, I felt like I got some up here on me. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna, it's still a real wet dough. I think I'm going to add some more in here too, just to play it safe. When I'm making these for myself, I just kind of do it. I don't really go by a recipe because I've been making them for so long, and for me to go by this recipe, it's not in me. I'm so used to just doing it and knowing exactly how much to put in it without looking at the recipe, because I just look at the dough and I know how much it's going to take. And I'm just going to set this aside because we're going to reuse this bowl, and there's no need of me washing it out because we're going to make the exact same cookies and add a different flavor in them. I'm going to just set it right here. And here we go. Ooh, get the hair out of the way. I should have tied it up. And you can just knead it around there, you know, till it's ready so you can use your hands or whatever. Ooh. Maybe I shouldn't have put it on the paper. I think I'd made a boo-boo by putting it on the paper. Might as well get in it. I thought that I would save myself a mess by putting it on parchment paper. I think I'm going to do away with that. Okay. Just add that flour in there. And these make about 2 dozen cookies. Usually about 3 cups makes about 2 dozen. And I know that seems like a lot, but with my bunch, they love sweets. And my grandbabies too. Okay, let's get a little flour on it. Let's just give it a little roll. Now, I like mine fairly thin because these are going to rise up and they're going to take over your pan. The more you thin them out, the more cookies you'll get. Well, I should have put some more flour on my roller. Okay. Okay. that's enough. All right, now we're just gonna get us a sheet pan. I think those are gonna be quite a bit, so. And I'm using just Country Crock butter. That's what I'm using. And so, just gonna put some of that on here and just start rubbing it in. And I'm pretty generous on my butter. Now, I know it's got butter in it, and some people say, oh, you don't even have to do that because, you know, all that butter just put in there. But I still like to butter my pan. That way it'll slide off good. So, let's see. Let me move a few things out of the way here. I'm going to reuse these, so I'm going to stick them over here in my bowl. Okay. There we go. And these are pretty thin. I hope that we can get them up off the thing without them falling apart. Oh yeah, they're going to be perfect. And you can put sprinkles on top of them. You can do all sorts of things. Sometimes I sprinkle a little sugar on top. Stretch that one a little bit. Well, made a mess of that one. It did not warm up today. It was in the 40s here. Well, I'm making a mess out of them. I think I should have made them a little thicker. I'm stretching them. There's no telling what shape they're going to be after they get through baking up. One thing is my surface. Patting these out on this wooden cutting board. I usually do my back here on that slick surface, and they just come off really easy. Seems like they're wanting to stick to this board. Now you could use a cute little cookie cutter, and these would be cute for a baby shower or a wedding shower. Just make a simple white cookie and put your little white sugar on top. See if I can squeeze another row back here. Let's see how many we ended up with. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. If I can put one more in there. So if we hadn't rolled them out so thin, you know, we would have got 24. So let's put a little, I'm not going to, well, I might put a little butter on top. A little bit more butter. And then we'll sprinkle a little sugar on there. Get a little sugar on there. Not a whole lot because that sugar likes to burn, so. Okay, let's see. Use this. I got a little bit too much on that one. Spread them out just a little bit. Okay, pop these in the oven. Okay, got those in the oven. I'm gonna let those stay in the oven. I didn't preheat, I should have. So we're gonna let them bake on 350. They only takes 10 minutes, about 8 to 10 minutes for them to bake. Let me get this little mess cleaned up right here. We'll get these on another baking sheet. But I'll probably just make these a little bit thicker. Baking cookies is a mess here at my house. Usually the kids are baking. They love to bake. Get a little bit of this flour. Okay, set us another pan. Put a little bit more butter on it. Okay. Okay. These are a little bit thicker. Now when these bake, these will probably have to be cut out of the pan because these will probably all run together because they're so thick. And this is another way you can do them because these are sticky from all that butter. You can just roll them up like you do your peanut butter balls and just pop them in the pan. You could even add peanut butter to these. Okay, let me squeeze this one in there. See if I can scoop these over just a little bit to put these last two in. Let's see if I can scoop this one over. Just a little bit. Okay. Let me get my hands all washed off a little bit. A little butter on top again. But like I said, you don't have to. These are so buttery. But it's just me. I like to do it. I put my little sugar crystals on top. And it's easier, I guess, just get your little spoon out and sprinkle them on there with that, or put them in a little, put your sugar in a little shaker. But you can use a spoon to come back and just smooth that sugar out on top of them. And that'll help with them falling off the cookie. Put those in. Now, if we don't forget them. It's usually chaos around here. Kids are running through the house. I mean, a good kind of chaos. Kids are running through the house. Grandbabies are running through the house. And all that, you know, laughter and, or that screaming and fighting in front of the kids. A normal house, you know, parents screaming for the kids to come do their chores or to go finish their homework. Let's see if I can get it. Okay, our next cookie that we're gonna make is the chocolate mint, the chocolate chip mint. Now, I'm just going to use the mint extract. I'm not using homemade that I've made from the mint, even though I have chocolate mint. Okay, give us a good clean spot to work. It's the same ingredients basically that you put in this that we just did. So we're going to get our cup of butter. Let's just go ahead and get us our knife. And add a cup of butter. Now there's a lot of ways that you can make this recipe. This recipe is not set in stone. You can change up the ingredients to, you know, just putting milk in it, or sour cream, or cream cheese. I put cream cheese in it and used a strawberry and made a strawberry cream cheese. Okay, we got your cup of butter. I think we're through with this. Now we're going to get our 1.5 cups of sugar. Okay. And we're going to get our 2 eggs. And we're going to whisk that in. But this is such a simple recipe. And if you don't, you know, have the cookie dough that you get at the store in the little packs, or if you don't have the kind that's already pre-made in the tube, I know a lot of people, that's just so easy for us to go get. But you make a lot more cookies with this, and it doesn't cost as much. Okay, got our eggs, we have our butter, and we have our sugar. Now let's put our extract in there. Here's our mint. We're gonna put a teaspoon of the mint. And then I'm gonna taste it to see if it's minty enough. It smells like it would be. That's all you would need if you were using the vanilla. Oh, well, you can smell the mint. It smells good. I'm not as keen on the mint as they are, but I do like the chocolate chip mint. I will eat that ice cream, especially if it's from Maggie Moo's. Okay, I'm gonna taste it. Here we go. Oh, perfect. Now, I do like peppermint ice cream. Love it, love the peppermint chunks all chopped up in it. I'll have to teach you how to make that. Okay, and I'm gonna add a little bit of green food coloring. This is March. You could use this for St. Patrick's Day. Get your green food coloring in there, so it'll bake up green. Okay, we've got our mint, just the perfect shade of green. Now, we need to get our flour added in. But first, I think I'm gonna add the chocolate chips because it's a little runny now, and it'll be easier to blend them in really good. So, let's put us a cup. Okay, maybe a cup and a fourth. Okay, you can use any type of chocolate chips, white chips. It doesn't matter, whatever your preference is. These are a semi-sweet. That's what these are. Okay, I got that in. And now we're going to go with our 3 cups of flour. Let's see if I left the flour. Yes, it's in there. Can't see too well through that glass. Let's see if I got another pan down here. Okay. Get our 1. Let's put our 2. And let's get our 3rd one on standby. Okay, I'm going to check the cookies because I did not preheat that oven. Let's see. I think it likes a little bit. Okay. Ooh, I'm making a mess. Probably need a little deeper bowl. Okay. There we go. I had the last. It looks so good. It looks and smells like ice cream. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Whoops. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some, well, I do have some Easter cookie cutters. I think I have a rabbit or something, but I don't think I have an Easter egg cookie cutter. I might. I've got so many cookie cutters. Because when the kids were little, we'd always bake something and decorate it with icing and sprinkles, especially at Christmas time. chocolate chip hung in there, and I thought I might try to get it out. Can't waste a chocolate chip. Okay. Clean my mess up. All right. Now, I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to turn these into a drop cookie. I don't think I'm going to pat these out. See, like I said, you can do anything with these cookies. Now these old-fashioned ones, mine, they're not going to look very pretty. I guess that's why they call them old-fashioned. But we're just going to make some drop cookies. And these will expand. They'll go everywhere. And I may end up having to cut these like a sheet cake and just cut them out. But they'll taste really good either way. Now I could use my little ice cream scoop, but with this, it's still real runny and gooey, and it will definitely stick and make a big mess. So you're gonna have to get gooey and get it all over yourself. Or at least I am. Okay, got one little tray. Let me see if I can scoot these over. See if they'll make it fit. I think I can. I think I can turn these around. These are almost done, it looks like. Okay, I just pulled our pan out of the oven, and they are just lightly brown, not, you know, just, I didn't want to burn the sugar on top, and just going to use a spatula to lift them up. They're all stuck together like I knew that they would be, but they're a good, soft cookie. And these are the ones that we rolled out real thin, and they're still pretty thick. But I'm glad I buttered the pan because they would have probably stuck. But these cookies, they won't last long around here. I mean, especially with 3 teenagers and 2 sweet grandbabies that'll be coming this week. They love cookies. They love Nani's cookies. These are so good with a glass of milk, y'all. So good. Let's see how it tastes. You can taste the egg in it a little bit. You know how you bake something and it kind of tastes a little eggy? And this is the way these are. And they're so good. And that little bit of sugar on top just kind of adds to it. Now, snack on those pieces. I'm going to leave the tops off until they, leave the domes off until they cool down just a little bit. They're a little crispy on the outside, but they're so soft on the inside. They're good. I mean, you don't need much. I mean, they're just a really good cookie. Like I said, they're a good base. The chocolate chips, you can just add so many different flavors. They're rising. Those green ones are really puffed up. And you can drop cookie these. You don't have to pat them out and do all that. But my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and of course my mother always patted theirs out like biscuits and always cut them out with a little cute cookie cutter or something. But my grandmother's, hers were big. They were like as big as a little saucer. And times like these when I'm baking something, and I always remember her and think back to the things that, you know, that she used to cook or she used to bake. You know, something about your grandmother, you know. Grandmothers are always special. Yeah. I'm going to take these out a little bit. See if I can, the light's on, but I think they need a little bit longer. I'm going to flip them around to the other side. Now, I do have this on my convectionate bake. I do have it on convectionate oven. But sometimes when you're trying to cook so many cookies and bring them in and out, they will brown a little bit more on one side than the other. Nothing's perfect because you're opening the door and that air is coming out, so the heat in there is not equal heat in there. But they're still good. They're still getting done. But I guess I'm impatient because I like to hurry it up and have everything looking so pretty and nice. And sometimes they don't turn out nice. Like these cookies. They're not very pretty, but they're good. Guess I'm just going to keep going back and forth because they're not supposed to cook but like 8 to 10 minutes. I'm going to give them just a little bit longer and get them a little bit. They'll still be good and crispy on the outside. Like these are still crispy. Even though they're white and they don't look like they've been in there very long, they're still crispy around the outside edges. That's the way I like them. Now Steve, when he eats cookies, he likes that doughiness. When he was a kid, he used to just come eat raw dough from his, you know, when his mom was baking or something. I can't stand that. And some of my kids, they liked it too, but I like my cookies. Now I take that back. Now my chocolate chip cookies can be just a little gooey on the inside, but I really don't like them that doughy though. Let's just see how these are looking. I think those are dark enough. I think when you leave them longer, it makes them harder, and I like my cookies soft. And just let those bake just a little bit longer. They're just a little soft. But let's see how these turned out. Now these, being the thicker ones, they are stuck together, but I think we'll be able to pry them loose. Might have to just go down through there like this. It doesn't matter how they look, the kids will eat them. They would eat them all in a couple of days if I let them. Today and tomorrow they would be gone. But I like to keep them a couple of days. They're always wanting to bake something sweet. All three of them love to bake, even Eli. Millie likes to bake chocolate chips, and she likes to bake brownies. Eli, he loves to bake cakes. Any type of cakes, and he likes to put all these different ingredients, things you've never heard of, and come up with his own concoctions. But I think, I know he's talked about one day, becoming a chef or an artist. He likes to draw too. And Liz, she likes to cook. She likes to bake. Okay. Got our second pan going. Let me check those green ones. They're gonna be pretty. Check those. I think they like it just a little bit more being done. I'll show them to you though. They're just a little bit jiggly. They like just a little bit. That green is pretty. And I know they're going to taste as good as they look. The reason I have decided to start this YouTube channel, The Farmer's Kitchen, is because I have a lot of male and females that watch my other channel, and I didn't want, the men folk to have to sit through all my baking stuff if they didn't particularly like to watch those sort of things. And I have a lot of different things that I'm going to be doing on this channel. They're going to be a lot different from my other channel. My other channel is going to have mostly my family and what we're doing outside around the farm. This channel is going to have my baking, my canning, and our just different types of cooking, different recipes. And I'm not sure if later on we'll be doing something other than that in the kitchen. My crafting and different things like that, my wreath making that people ask me to do. I'll probably keep those on my other channel and keep this strictly a baking or cooking channel. So if you've already subscribed to my other channel, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to this one. Hit that like button and just follow along with us from week to week, because we're going to be making a lot of old recipes that was my grandmother's and my mother's recipes, and a lot of things that they would be making around the farm. I'm going to have some Amish recipes that I'm going to pull out. So I look forward to doing those type of things. And I'm going to have a young ladies group that's going to be coming after the 15th of March, and we're going to be doing some canning. So you'll have to come back and watch those videos with me. And if you have a church group, or if you have a teen group, or a children's group even, that you would like to get credit for homeschooling, or any type of baking, or any type of credit for high school or anything, and you would like for me to do a cooking video, and you would like to come here to my home and participate and bake with me, I would love that. So we're going to be having a lot of those things going on as well. So if you would like to send me a message and say, hey, I would like for my church group to be able to come, I would like for my ladies to come out and learn to can or learn to bake something, just let me know, and let me know the items and the things that you would like to bake or like to cook, because it would be so much fun for you guys to come into my home and let's cook something up. I enjoy it so much. Let me check these and we'll get back to our little talk. they're still not done. So we'll have to give them a few more minutes. I know it's been 8 minutes. But anyway, but I am looking forward to getting things done. I have been wanting, I tell you what I was really going to do. I was really going to build a building and like a barn, and I was going to start doing things out of it. My crafting, my upholstery work, my floral work, and I'd even thought about even setting a restaurant in there, or I'd even started thinking about just doing all kinds of things that I could do in that shop. But I don't feel like, I have mentioned building that barn several times, and I feel like God is just pushing that back. I feel like right now that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I really feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I think that I can reach a broader audience, and I can get my classes online for you guys, and I just think this is where God is leading me right now. So until that changes, we definitely want to be in God's will. So I really enjoy getting outside and getting things going in the garden and bringing things in and preparing it for my family and taking you guys along and letting you see what's in my garden and what we're going to be preparing this summer. And we'll have some special guests that'll be here on our channel with us. And I just really want you to if you have anything you would love to see me make, please post it in the comments and let me know, because I would be glad if there's some recipe that you're having trouble with and need some help with. Just call on me and we can see what we can do about making it right and fixing it. Because we could do it here, or I could do it for you on here. I can't wait. Just can't wait to see what this channel is going to do and how God's going to lead us. I know this channel probably would have been really good whenever the pandemic was going on, when everybody was shut in and couldn't get out. This would have been a good thing for me to be doing then. But it wasn't in God's time. It wasn't in God's time. Because like I said, I had bought this GoPro 3 years ago, last Christmas. And I never used it. Never used it. And I couldn't understand why, because I was so excited about doing it, wanting to do it. And the kids said, you know, Mom, you really need to do that YouTube channel. But I never did get on board with it. But now it just seems like, you know, learning to edit and learning to do all these different things on the computer and with the GoPro and with CapCut and all this. I never learned how to do any of that stuff. God is just giving it to me. You know, He's teaching me a little bit each day of how to do it. And it just seems like it's all coming together. These are a little gooey, and my family's going to love these. They've still got a little crispy coating on the outside, even though they're a little light. Let's see what the bottom looks like. They're just got a little crispy coating around the outside. They're done. Let's see. Let me just break this one loose so you can break it in half so you can see. They're hot. See, good chocolate in there. Now I guess I need to taste it and let you know how it's gonna taste. See. I wish somebody was here from the audience. I wish y'all were here tasting it with me, so y'all would know if they taste good or not. Just not taking my word for it. Mmm. They're hot. And they're good. Mmm. That mint and chocolate, it tastes so good. Mmm. So good. I have started losing weight since I started my other channel, getting out in the yard. For the past month, oh, I'm gonna say that I have lost 30, from my birthday, December 30th, till now, I have lost about, let's say, 30, almost 30 pounds, 28 pounds, about 28 pounds. So that is a lot. I haven't lost a lot in my legs though, where I want to lose it, but in my midsection. But I can feel it in my waist because I'm constantly pulling up my pants. And as you can see, you know, but I have always had big, thick arms, thick thighs. And then when I had a baby late in life, I had Liz at 41. So, you know, even though I didn't gain any weight with her at all, whatever I weighed is what I went into the hospital the day she was born. I weighed the same amount the day I got pregnant to the day she was born. I didn't gain a pound. She lived off of my big body fat. Okay. Now these are a little brown. Now this is how I like them. But they won't make your cookies pretty if you're trying to go for that green color. And we probably need to let these cool on off before we take those out. But anyway, here they are, all made up, and they taste delicious. And like I said, you can use that base for any cookie. You can put coconut in it, you can do lemon, you can do your strawberry, you can do your orange marmalade, you can just, oh, and you can even do the walnut. Put the walnut flavoring, sprinkle some nuts in it. So good. And I love the white macadamia. And this is the recipe that I use for those. Use the white chocolate chips and the macadamia nuts in it. And they are wonderful. That's my favorite. White macadamia nut. That's my favorite cookies. Except for the no-bake chocolate oatmeal. And we'll be making those really soon on this channel. So you'll have to come back and see those. They're so good. That's the best cookie ever. I fix those all the time around Christmas. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. I thank you for hanging out with me here at the Farmer's Kitchen. And I hope that you subscribe to my channel and push that like button. And I hope to see you back here again next time. God bless you. Bye.